Hey, hello everyone, and welcome to At Home Facial 101. I'm really excited for today's topic, and we're in for a nice and relaxing and empowering hour of fun. So thank you so much for joining us for this one. I'm Jenna Fields. I'm the California Regional Director of Sharsheret, and I'm thrilled to welcome Beauty Bus, which is a local organization here in Los Angeles, to our Sharsheret community. For those of you who are new to Sharsheret, we are a national Jewish not-for-profit organization that supports women and their families who are facing breast and ovarian cancer, as well as those with elevated genetic risk. And all of our services are free, confidential, and personalized for you as you are going through your cancer experience. And we also provide weekly webinars for people all over the country. Next week, we're going to be doing one on mindfulness and acupressure, effective healthcare strategies on March 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern. So my colleague will put the link for registration for that in the chat. And then we're doing Sharsheret in the Kitchen. This is a monthly series we do on healthy cooking with a Jewish twist. And we'll be doing one on simple Sephardic Passover with the Sephardic Spice Girls on April 4th at 2 p.m. Eastern. So for those of you who are prepping for Passover, that'll be a fun one. Before we begin, just a few housekeeping items. So I did email around our product recommendation list, but if you registered within the last 30 minutes or so, you may not have received it, or maybe you didn't look at your email. So Bonnie is going to put the link for the products in the chat. You do not need to have these products with you as we're doing today's at-home facial. But if you have anything close by that you want to grab right now, there's a list for you there that might be helpful. And today's webinar is also recorded. So anytime you want to go back and quickly learn again from Dana, who is just such a wonderful speaker and expert, you'll have this recording afterward. Today's webinar, like I said, is being recorded and posted on Sharsheret's website along with a transcript, but your names and faces will not be shown in that recording. And you can obviously keep your video off the whole time to keep yourself private. And you can also call in, and that information is available in the chat. We are going to be doing a Q&A at the end, so feel free to add your questions as you go. And I will jump in and ask Dana a few questions if it's relevant to what she's talking about at that moment. So don't be shy about jumping in. We'll try to get to as many as we can. And you may have noticed that you are muted. Please keep yourself on mute. That's what the chat box is for. So please utilize it. I also want to thank our sponsors for today, Beauty Bus, the Concern Foundation, Daiichi Sankyo, Merck, and Sigmund and Edith Blumenthal Memorial Foundation. Thank you so much for making webinars like this possible. And then finally, we are talking about beauty today. So if you haven't ordered your Sharsheret Best Face Forward Kit, please go ahead and do so if you are going through treatment or you're in thrivership. Bonnie's putting that link in the chat as well to order. And we provide free makeup and skincare products for you, as well as eyebrow stencils. It's a great resource to have. And then we're also thrilled that Beauty Bus is giving away their amazing beauty bags to two winners of our raffle from today's webinar evaluation. So at the end of the webinar, you'll get the evaluation link and you can enter to win a Beauty Bus beauty bag. And just a medical disclaimer, we are a nonprofit cancer support organization. We do not offer any medical advice or perform any medical procedures. The information provided today is not a substitute for medical advice or treatment for specific medical conditions. You should not use this information to diagnose or treat a health problem. Always seek the advice of your physician or qualified healthcare provider with any questions you have regarding a medical condition. So now it is my pleasure to introduce Beauty Bus. Bonnie Klieger is the managing director of Beauty Bus here in Los Angeles, and she'll just say a few words.
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. Just a little thing about Beauty Bus. We're also a nonprofit organization, and we provide beauty and grooming services to seriously ill people and their caregivers. We do it in homes, in private hospitals. We go into cancer centers, a lot of social service agencies here in the Los Angeles area, with beauty professionals who do things like haircuts, manicures, facials. We just started doing hand massages at our events, which are really popular. Most of them are what we call a pop-up, where you come in and we sort of create a salon. And then, of course, today we're going to be doing this amazing facial with Dana Bays. Dana has been with Beauty Bus for a long time. And as a matter of fact, she was our volunteer of the year, as I do little jazz hands, last year. So we love Dana. We love working with Share It. And again, you know, we are brought to you also here. We want to just do a quick shout out to the Concern Foundation, who also is such a big supporter of Beauty Bus and Share It. And thank you all. And I'm going to throw it over to Dana, and enjoy your facial.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm excited to have some time with you guys. Hopefully you guys can relax and we can learn something from each other. How I want to start out today is I would love for everybody just to kind of get with me in a breathing exercise. So I'm going to have you take a deep breath in. Hold that for 5 seconds. And let out for 5 seconds. Let's repeat that again. Great. That's something you guys can do anytime when you're feeling stressed out or just need a me moment. Take those deep breaths in. Another thing that I really like, I know you guys have a webinar on it next week, but Acupressure Points. And I want to talk to you right here. It's called the Union Valley Point. And you'll feel that little void in your hand right here. So if you take your index finger and your thumb and you press that a bit for about 5 seconds, not hard where it hurts, and then let go. And then try that again for 5 seconds. So as you're doing this, you are helping to release stress. It can help with headaches, and it also can help with certain pains going on in your body. If you've been sitting at a chair too long or laying in bed too long, just give yourself a few minutes and see if that can help you relax and start feeling better. So the first thing I want to do is talk to you guys about products that we all use probably every day. So if you have a piece of paper and pencil next to you, if not, just keep count. I'm going to name some products, and I want to see how many that you use on a typical day. Shampoo, conditioner, any type of styling product for your hair, body lotion, shower gel or bar soap, shaving cream, facial moisturizer, hand soap, hand sanitizer, any product for your lips, sunscreen, makeup remover, facial cleansers, deodorant, perfume, mouthwash, and toothpaste. And that's just really a few of the things on my list. So typically I get people say they use between 10 and 14 of these items a day. So as you can imagine, if you're using products that have ingredients that can be harmful to the body, if you're using all those ingredients a day, that can actually end up having a toxic load on your body. So today, as we're going through the products for your facial, I'm going to introduce you guys to some drugstore brands that are affordable, easily accessible, Walgreens, CVS, Amazon, anything like that. And I get a lot of my information from a really cool website called EWG. So it's EWG.org. You can pretty much put in any product that you use on your body or in your home, and it's going to give it a rating between 1 and 10. 1 has the least amount of things that can become harmful to your body. So any of the products I'm showing you today, they're either a 1 or a 2. Some of the items that are 1s, they go really high up in cost, but I wanted to be cognizant of what we're using so all of us can do it. So how does a facial benefit you guys? Well, it moisturizes your skin. It's great for anti-aging. It can improve your skin tone and your texture. It alleviates redness and sensitivity, and it can reduce blemishes and breakouts. So with all of that information, I would love to get started. If you guys have facial products, you want to follow along with me, great. But I'll go through things and just kind of give you some pointers. So the first thing we want to do, of course, is wash our face. It's best if you wash your face in the morning and at night. A lot of people think when they wake up in the morning, oh, my face isn't dirty, I've just been sleeping. But when you think about if the air conditioning's on, the heater's on, you've got things going through the ventilation system, we probably don't all change our pillowcases every day. I don't have time for that. I'm sure you don't either. So you might be laying on a little bit of a dirty pillowcase. So wash your face. So a product that I found it's from Honest Beauty. And this is a really nice cleanser. It actually starts out as a gel. So what I do with any cleanser is I take it a little bit on my finger, and before putting any water in it at all, we're going to emulsify it in our hands and then dot it all over. And what you're going to do is you're going to wash in an upward motion. And the reason we're doing this upward motion is we don't want our skin to go down like this. We want to keep it up and tight and high to the sky. So always using those inward motions when you're doing that. Paying attention too into the hairline. Easy to forget all that stuff. And just like a baby, get underneath the chin. Sometimes we get stuff in there we don't know about. And getting your décolleté in there too. Now, if you have a product that is starting to feel dry, you can always dip your fingers in some water, emulsify that. And again, just get that in there, working around your nose, taking extra care under the eyes. This is the thinnest skin on our body. So you really just want to use your ring fingers and a very, very soft circular motion around the eye area. So after that, you're going to rinse your face. Now, what I want to talk to you about is water temperature. I'm not saying use cold and freeze yourself out, but you want to use just maybe more like lukewarm water. The hotter you get, the more sensitized your skin can be. So especially if you're going through treatment and your skin might not feel its best, you've got a lot of dryness, redness, make sure that water is only lukewarm. And again, I'm just going to use that upward motion to get all that off. And here is the reason I always do a double cleanse. Look at all that makeup that is still on my face after that one cleanse. So I'm going to go in again and do that second cleanse. Just really getting it in there. Again, always getting that neck and décolleté. And let's see if we can get all that makeup off this time. Yeah. So if you're looking here, that's a much better situation. So always do a double cleanse, even if you don't have stuff coming off. I guarantee you there's spots that you missed. We all do. Let me just get all of this off. And dry off here. The other product that I really like is from T.N. Dickinson's. I don't see that very well. These are witch hazel cloths. See, I'm sure you remember witch hazel coming in bottles. You can use that along with a cotton ball as well. I just think these are way easier because you only need one little product. And what this does is this is going to get off any residual makeup, grime from the day, but it's also going to bring your tone back to your skin. This is going to correct the pH balance in it. Now, if you're using something like this and if it tingles or burns, it might just be that your skin is really sensitized right now. So you can always skip this step. But you can tell your skin almost retains its moisture better and things like that when you're using these type of products, because you're getting kind of a layer of skin off really and just prepping it for the day.
as we're going, I'm sure there's people who are thinking about radiation treatment or chemotherapy. Are these recommendations for those people as well?
Yes, these are clean products. So anything we're talking about today, you can absolutely use. It's just like with the witch hazel pads. If you feel a tingle and it's a little too much, just don't use those type of products. You want to be gentle with your skin when you're going through treatment. Another thing is when people go through treatment, sometimes it'll look as if you have blemishes. And a lot of times those aren't actual acne blemishes. Those can be some of the medication coming out the skin. So what you don't want to do, I know it's so fun to do it, but don't pop them. Leave them, let them be, because what can happen is if it is the medication coming out, it can spread and you don't want to get any type of infection. And then I'm not going to do it because I don't want to make you sit here and watch me for 20 minutes with a mask on. But once a week, it's great to get a sheet mask. This one by Elf, it's a hydrating water mask. And Simple is also a nice hydrating mask. When you take these out, there's always a ton of extra serum in here. What I do is I take it out and I push down so that some of that fluid stays in there. Put that face mask on. I like to leave it on for 45 minutes if I'm just watching TV or something. That's a great time to do a mask, because when you're not moving around, not talking, so it doesn't keep falling off. But then all the serum that's left over in here, it's awesome. Pack it on your chest, on your arms, and use all of that great stuff to get everything else on your body hydrated. Also, while this is sitting on your face, you can use one of these awesome rollers. These typically come in jade. I have the rose quartz, means love. So I like that a lot. So when you have that paper mask on, or if you're just putting on some type of serum, take this and work it in. Just a really light touch. What's awesome about this is it's going to help the product penetrate, but it also has a lifting effect. If you do this every night for about 5-10 minutes, you will notice that your jowls start to come up. And you can really use this anywhere. A lot of them have the little tiny one on the end. That is where you can just take this and gently in the eye area and just kind of always up in that upward motion. On the forehead. And if you ever have a time where your skin maybe feels hot or burned, either from sun or radiation, you can put these in the freezer and let it sit out about a minute just so you don't have those frozen particles on it, and just gently go over your skin. It can really help to reduce the inflammation, take care of some of that pain. And with these, when you use them, you're going to want to wash them every time. But what you want to be careful with is you don't want to use any harsh abrasives, anything like Ajax or anything like that, because this is actual stone and it will start to break down. So the best thing to do is rinse it under some warm water. And I like to use just my cleanser and cleanse that right off. Again, these probably are not something you want to share with others. This is kind of a tool of your own. And then coming from there, a lot of you also probably are dealing with dry skin. That can come from being outside, inside, from medications. I found a really nice, it's from Physicians Formula. This is their organic wear oil. It's the Bright Booster Elixir. I know it's really hard to see in here. But with any type of moisturizer, whether you prefer oil, lotions, anything like that, it's going to be the same way you apply it. Now this one happens to have a little dropper. So you can just take that, dot that all around. And again, that nice upward motion that we were doing earlier. And again, this is another great time that you can just take that roller and work that product in. And I did see a question pop up. You were wondering what this was called. Usually it's called a Jade Roller or a Rose Quartz Roller, available on Amazon, drugstores, things like that. The only thing I would say, be cautious on this, is that some of these are made with plastic and not actual gemstones, the plastic can actually scratch your face. So I would really make sure that you've got the gemstone ones, not plastic. So if you are applying moisturizer and this is the beginning of your day and you might want to put on makeup, the one thing that you want to do is wait at least 5 minutes after you put on any type of moisturizer so that your skin has a chance to really get it into the skin. It's really going to hydrate you more. If you start putting your makeup on while you have moisturizer that's not in, all that's going to do is break down the makeup. You're not going to get the coverage you want, and you're going to have to use a lot more of it. So just, give it a few minutes, walk around, do something else, and then come back to do your makeup. I'm going to show you a couple of different, I would say the best anti-aging thing you can do for your skin is sunscreen. Even if you aren't outside, put sunscreen on, because you can be near a window, or if you're in the car or it's a day it's raining and you're not getting sun, you're getting it. So just make sure that you're always going to use something to give you that protection. This is a product called All Good, and they have 2 different formulas. I know this one looks like a deodorant. It's not. But this one is just a sheet, and you just apply it right on. And again, you're going to blend that in everywhere. If you don't want any color at all, this is the one to use. I personally like the tinted version. And what that's going to do, you can see it's got some color to it. It's going to give you a little bit of coverage, but it's also giving you all that SPF. And you can just pat this on. It's going to give you some coverage. You can kind of even out that skin tone. Just make sure you're getting it everywhere. This one's a little easier to tell if you have it everywhere because there's a little bit of pigment to it. And again, you don't want to forget your neck and décolleté. Getting that all in there. And if you have any left over on your hands, I like to put it on the back of my hands. Anytime with moisturizer, SPF, anything to protect. I think these get more sun than anything. So just giving them a little extra TLC. And then lips. I know mine get dehydrated with everything. This is made by EOS, and this is their 100% natural line. I like it because it does come in kind of a lipstick shape, but also comes in this little ball container. So whatever you like, you can get it in both. This is the mint flavor, which I really like. It's kind of gives you kind of almost good breath. So you got good lips and good breath all in one shot. So that's fun. And one of the things that I do want to talk to you guys about, since a lot of you are going through treatment right now, I know that some of you had questions about scarring and radiation and things like that. If you've had any type of surgery or anything like that, once it is closed, it can, you don't want it to be bleeding or anything like that. Your doctor needs to work with you all through there. But once you are in that healed stage, Tamanu oil is a great product that you can use. This one is made by Skin Love, and it was created by a cancer survivor. And so she makes sure that her lines are extremely clean, really easy to use. Tamanu oil does have, I would say, an interesting fragrance. It is so healing and so good for skin problems, but you'll have to get used to the smell of it. So the last thing I want to do with you guys before we get to questions is talk about facial yoga. I know it sounds weird. You can do it in bed. You can do it in your car. You can do it at your desk. I like to do it in the car. People see me. I make weird faces. They laugh. So for me, it's fun. But the first thing I want to show you is called the smiling fish face. And what you're going to do is keep doing what I'm doing, but I'm going to talk through it. You're going to suck it in like a fish. You're going to really feel the indentation in here, and you're going to feel everything lifting. And you can hold it for 5-10 seconds, let go, try it again. It's giving you a cheek workout. Excellent. Another one is called the baby bird. Now, I personally like this one if I've had maybe a stressful day, if I've got tension in my neck, is how does a mom feed the baby bird, or what does the baby bird do? They'll take their head and they'll put their head up. So you're going to do that and you're going to hold that and you're really feeling this nice stretch in your neck there. Bringing it back to center and going the other way. And again, just holding 5 to 10 seconds, whatever feels best for you. Returning back to center. And we'll do each side one more time. And come back to center. And then one more stretch on the other side. I don't know if you can feel it in your back. It kind of gets that shoulder tension out. Just kind of getting all that out for the day. And then the last one I think is the funniest one that I do in the car because it's strange, but it's called it's the lion face. So this is going to give you a stretch. So if you want to make noise with me, go for it. So you're going to, I really don't know why if it's a lion while you're screaming, but that's okay. And you feel again this stretch all through the jaw, all through the cheek. And really when you stick your tongue out, you can even feel it more. So for all these, little yoga things we're talking about, using the Jade Rollers, these are all things that are going to help keep our skin stay up, and it's going to help hydrate. And again, if you do these things a lot, you can actually help to increase the collagen in your skin and start building that back up. So there's some fun things you can do. And I would love to open it up to any questions you guys all might have.
I'll just read the questions as they come in through the chat. So our first question was about the oil and if it removes dark spots.
It can over time. And I will tell you, if you have really, truly dark spots, there's some chemical things that you can do, but when you're going through treatment, you don't want to, doing any harsh chemicals because that can actually make it worse. If your dark spots are from treatment, a lot of times once you stop, your skin will start to kind of come back to its natural pigmentation.
And someone asked, where do you buy the Jade Rollers?
The Jade Rollers, you can get at any like Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Amazon. They're very easily available.
So, and I know that you said earlier that some of them have plastic in them and you really want to buy the ones that don't have plastic.
Yes.
So it's really helpful.
Yeah, I would look for jade or rose quartz. That way, and authentic jade or whatever.
So suggestions for treating any acne, someone who's post-treatment.
Okay, post-treatment, not going through anything. Spot treatments would be the best. Let me do a little bit of investigating on EWG just to see what would be the best there. But you know what? Something you can do is take toothpaste and put it right on that and let it dry overnight. Again, looking to make sure that your toothpaste is a safe product. Something I kind of forgot to say while I was going through that list is every time I run out of something now, I replace it with something that's cleaner. None of us can afford to run out and replace every single thing we use on our skin and on our face and in our house. But when you run out, that EWG website is really, really valuable.
That's so great. And along the lines of acne, question about removing blackheads. What's the best way to do that?
So blackheads, it's best really if you can have it done by a professional because they can get into places that you can't. A lot of people think they should squish and squish and squish, but what that's going to do is that's going to cause like a crevice and a kind of like a bruising mark. If you, if you're home and you're trying to do it yourself, the best thing you can do is use 2 little Q-tips and you can try it on the different angles, but never go really, really tight and fast. Don't use anything metal because you can actually hurt your skin more.
And for anyone who actually is looking for a facialist, do you have any recommendations, particularly people who are in treatment or post-treatment?
Absolutely. There is a group that I am a teacher for called Oncology Spa Solutions. You can go onto their website. You can find a practitioner in your area. If for some reason you go on there and cannot find it, Bonnie can let me know and I can help you guys find people in your area. And you just want to make sure that they're certified to treat people going through treatment and even post-treatment, if it's, 6 months post, you still want someone that deals with that so that they're not damaging your skin. You don't want to use any harsh chemicals, no chemical peels or things like that in the beginning.
This is a good question for someone who before treatment, their skin was oily and now it's dry. Does it stay dry or will it go back to its original skin?
Typically, it will go back. It can take up to a couple of years sometimes for your body just to get back in the swing of things. But I would say if you're really dry, an oil product would be the most moisturizing for you.
And a question, I don't know, Dana, if you can answer this about eyebrow liners and eyeliners for post-chemo for someone with no eyebrows or eyelashes.
O Skincare, who made the Tamanu oil, they also have an eyebrow kit, and it's actually a very safe powder that you can use to create brows. And then you can also create liner up there and lower. I can look into some drugstore brands for that too.
And I know that Charcheret's Best Face Forward Kit does have eyebrow stencils for anyone who's interested, and that's free through Charcheret. And we do also offer subsidies for microblading for anyone on today's webinar, financial subsidies for microblading in your area. So another question about hydrating hand cream for dry, cracked hands.
Again, I know this oil is fantastic. You can use different types of products, of course, but if you're really dry and cracked, again, oil is going to be one of the best things you can do. Put some drops on there and just work it in there, getting through your hands and things like that. If you're really cracked, I would do it a couple times a day. Avoiding overly warm water is going to help as well. So when you're washing your hands, try to keep it lukewarm, because the more hot, the more dehydrated it gets, and then you're going to get cuts and things like that.
I just discovered using gloves to wash my dishes. I don't know why it took me so long to realize that's the best life hack ever. And it saved my skin. So, what about using organic olive oil or coconut oil on skin? Would you recommend that?
You absolutely can. It can be real heavy for some people. So what I would do is spot test that. And what I mean by spot test is, let's say you've got some coconut oil, just kind of put it under here, see how that goes overnight, make sure it doesn't make you break out, because sometimes just that pure oil with nothing else in it can cause breakouts.
And someone did ask about what is microblading. It's actually small tattooing that can replace eyebrows if you have lost your eyebrows and they haven't grown back. So it's a great resource. A good shampoo or conditioner brand that you recommend for someone who's wanting to go clean.
And can I go grab it really quick, because I completely forgot the name.
Absolutely.
Give me 10 seconds here.
And I do feel like as Dana's grabbing something, maybe we should ask her to define what clean makeup means. Would that be helpful for this group? I don't know if we said that. So, okay. Yes. I know it can get a little complicated. So Dana, do you mind just explaining what clean products mean? Sure.
So clean products is basically meaning that there's not a whole bunch of additives that might be bad for your skin, could be toxic. It's absolutely phenomenal to me that there's products out there that contain acids and plastic pieces and things like that. For instance, there used to be a product out there. It was an apricot scrub. Well, that actually has the apricot seeds in it, and it actually creates tears on the face. Oh, wow. So clean is meaning a lot of times means the least amount of things inside of that, and making sure that it's not just additive products. That's why, like, again, I'm beating a horse here. The EWG website is going to show you so many things that you probably never heard of. Again, looking for those lower scores of 1 and 2 for your products.
Great. Okay. Sorry. I know you were going to do the shampoo.
That's okay. It's made by Surface, and it's called Awaken. And this is a clean line, and they have shampoo, conditioner. They also have some scalp treatment. So if you're, going through treatment and you've just got that dry, itchy scalp, so you can spray it on there. Again, any of the things, if you're going through treatment, check with your doctor first to make sure that they're in agreement with type of products. This does have some essential oils in it, so you will feel a little bit of a tingle in there too. So if you're really sensitive, even just using baby shampoo for the moment might be the best thing to do.
And someone asked about, along those lines, for hair regrowth, the pimples that come in on the scalp.
Pimples, yeah, you would want to leave those alone because, again, most of the time after treatment, what that is that's just things working its way out, not necessarily a true pimple. So let them dry as long, I know it's hard not to get rid of them.
I know you're like me, Dana, because I just want to, I know. It's like a, someone had mentioned organic tea tree oil for pimples. Is that something that you would also?
Yeah, just making sure that your essential oils, again, are from a clean place. There's a lot of people who they'll have this much essential oil and this much filler. And so you just want to make sure that you have 100% pure tea tree. Use it sparingly. It can, if you use it too much, what it can do too is it can actually kind of burn the skin. Because I learned this the hard way. Oh, I'll just keep putting it on all day on that same pimple. It'll make it go away faster. No. I ended up with a big old red spot with a pimple. So once or twice a day, kind of just popping that on a pimple with a Q-tip is the best thing you can do.
We actually keep tea tree oil in my house for lice prevention because I have kids in preschool and we put it on their heads when we know there's a lice outbreak at school. So I don't know if it works, but I learned. So, and then someone asked about whiteheads. So I know we talked a little about pimples. Is it the same thing for whiteheads?
I hate to say it, but yeah, it's just, you want to leave them alone right now. Let them dry up, let them work their way out the way they will.
And someone asked for someone on the go who doesn't have time to do all the amazing things you showed us today. What would you say is a 5-minute routine? What would you prioritize?
I would say wash your skin twice, moisturize, and SPF. Those would be the three. For me, I wouldn't skip any of those. And you can do that really in 2 minutes if you want to.
Someone asked about diluting tea tree oil with water.
Well, typically that's not going to really help because it will get in with the water and then it's going to separate. So just like, water and oil. So trying to use it, if you are finding that it's too harsh for you, a better approach would be using like a little bit of coconut oil as a carrier oil in it.
And for someone who they said they're taking hormone blockers, so their skin is especially dry, is there anything that you would do differently?
Maybe moisturize more than twice a day if you're really feeling it. If you don't have makeup on and you have time to pop some more on. The other thing is if it's during the day, you've got makeup on and maybe you just don't have a chance to put that moisturizer back on. The Avion spray water for your face is a great way to just mist that on and give yourself some moisture.
What about moisturizers that do contain SPF? Can you do 2-in-1 or would you still recommend?
You can, but I will tell you what it does is it breaks down the SPF a bit because now you've got lotion or moisturizer and SPF, just like makeup when it's all together, it tends to break it down. So it's really better to use an SPF on its own. It's going to give you better coverage.
Okay. And someone asked if there's a makeup line that you recommend.
Let's see. I'm going to have to get back to you on that one. Offhand, there's not one that's exactly like all clean, but for the most part, Honest Beauty and a lot of the physician's formula stuff is going to be safer.
Someone asked about SPF options that are clean, no chemical sunscreens, but that don't leave a white cast. This is definitely a problem I have. A lot of
well, the All Good with the tint is going to help tremendously. It's not going to leave that cakey white. This actually gives you quite a bit of moisture too. So, you could actually just use this for during the day. It's going to give you coverage. It's because it's not meant to be a makeup. It's just got a little bit of mineral in there for that. But it's very, very hydrating.
Great. And I know the questions are coming in or slowing down a little bit. So any other questions before we wrap up? No? All right. Well, Dana, thank you so much for your expertise today. We really appreciate you being here and giving us so many new products to think about. we want everyone to take a moment to fill out our evaluation survey. So Bonnie is going to remove or put that in the chat for you. And if you fill out the survey, you can get entered to win a Beauty Bus beauty bag that has lots of excellent stuff in it, a product for you, and as well as you can sign up for It's a free Best Face Forward kit, and also reach out to us about subsidies for microblading if that's of interest to you as well, because we discussed that today. And you can again sign up for our 2 upcoming webinars, mindfulness and acupressure. Dana gave us a little bit of an acupressure tip during today's webinar. We'll go into a lot more detail on next week's webinar. And then the following week, we're going to be doing tips for Passover from the Sephardic Spice Girls. And we are going to send around the full product list today along with the recording. So for anyone who has any questions about some of the products that we learned about, we'll add it there. And then finally, I just want to thank our sponsors one more time: Beauty Bus, Concern Foundation, Daiichi Sankyo, Merck, the Sigmund and Edith Blumenthal Memorial Foundation. We are so grateful to all of you for being here, and for those of you who support Share It. Again, please fill out our evaluation, and I hope everyone has a great day. I'm going to go do some more massage on my face right now. Thanks to you, Dana. Thank you so much. All right, take care, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good day. Thank you.